She was mad that I cheated on her, but it's a thing. Lesson learned. Hey everyone, happy Friday Eve. Today I kind of have like a sad story time kind of video. It's more of like a cautionary tale, but basically I don't want to be too overly dramatic about it. More than anything, I just want to tell you my story and what happened to me, just so maybe the same thing doesn't happen to you. And that's pretty much all it is. And since it's a skincare thing, I thought, hey, it belongs on YouTube. So here we are. The whole thing began about like a month ago, or like a little over a month ago. It was a Friday, I was at work. My friend told me that she was going to see her doctor, and she had like some kind of like bad breakout. And she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go see about having like a cortisone shot so I can like manage this, because it seems like there's gonna be like some scarring. If you don't know what a cortisone shot is, I'm not a doctor, obviously, not a scientist, can't tell you super in-depth things, but good thing you're already on the internet and you can look it up for yourself. But basically it's like a steroid shot, and a lot of times they use it for pain. They use it for a lot of different things, but one of the uses is you can use a cortisone shot on a cystic acne breakout and it will shrink it. It does some kind of magic and it just makes it go away. And a year ago or 2 years ago, I had a horrible huge zit that would not go away, and it kept coming back for like a month. It was a nightmare. While I was battling this thing, I filmed my piercings past and present videos where I talked about all the piercings I've ever had, and you can totally see it in the video, and I think I even mentioned it because it was like so painful, and it pretty much felt like it was affecting the movement of all of the rest of my face. So if you want to go back a trip down memory lane to see what that was like, you certainly can. So in that situation, I had gone to my dermatologist and I was like, what do I do? This is a nightmare. I've never had anything like this happen to me ever before. And I think it was like a hormonal thing. I don't know, because I usually don't have something that intense. But she gave me that shot and it made it go away. And it was so magical, and I don't even know. Like, I did kind of have a scar, like a mark that stayed for a while after that, but it was like magic, right? So my friend told me that she's going to do this. Oddly enough, I mean, I don't know, maybe we're somehow like linked in some way, but I was having kind of a similar situation that I had a couple of years ago, and it was right about here. And I could feel it coming. It had been there for probably about a week, and it was really painful, and it just had all the same kind of symptoms as the other one. And I was like, oh hey, can I tag along? And she was like, oh yeah, totally, come on. And so I came with her to her doctor to get a cortisone shot. And if you know anything about cortisone shots, you'll know that there are risks. I already knew about these risks. It's a kind of risky thing, but I'd had it before, so I wasn't concerned. And she trusts her doctor, is a good doctor. It's not anything against the doctor. I don't think it was like the lady was unskilled or something like that, or I was going to some like shady place. Absolutely not. Totally trust the place. But basically the way it was explained to me is that it atrophies the tissue or the fat, something like that, around the site of the injection. And guess what? Something happened, and that happened to me. Like about a week or two later, I noticed that I was getting like a little bit of a dent. That's what I call it. It's a dent. And I know like you guys probably haven't noticed it, but I was freaking out. I like went back to the doctor and she was like, you knew the risks. And she was totally like, I will judge her on this. She was kind of like insensitive about that, and I was really upset about it. But basically it's just like a little dip, and when I smile, it kind of like with my regular like smiley smile lines, it like connects, and it I don't know, it bothers me. I know it's not that big a deal, but it's a thing. After seeing her, I kind of felt pretty hopeless. She was like, there's nothing we can do. I don't know what's gonna happen. And I searched online and stuff, and everyone was saying, oh, there's nothing they can do and you're basically screwed. And so I was like, this is my nightmare. What have I done? Why did I do this? You know, stuff like that, which it's not like an odd thing to do. It's not like totally out of the realm of like, it's not an extreme thing to do. Like, of course it sounds insane to get a shot in your face, but I had done it before and my dermatologist did it and it was totally safe and it totally worked and it was magic, and I was like, oh yeah, that again, it'll be fine. Lesson learned. I went to my regular dermatologist and she was like, Number one, always call me. So she was mad that I cheated on her. No, she wasn't mad, but she was like, don't cheat on me. And I told her I wouldn't. And she basically said that it will fill in or kind of like self-correct over like 2 or 3 or even 4 months. So I kind of just have to live with it, but it's supposed to correct itself. And more than anything, I wanted to do this video because it seems like there's so much misinformation online. So a lot of people say, oh, you got to do this, that, and they always say like really weird solutions that I talked to my doctor and she said, yeah, all of that stuff is kind of crazy. So basically all you have to do is like wait and see. And she told me another thing, like this is going to sound really silly, but to kind of like exercise my face and like smile big and then frown big, which I could easily do that when I think about this situation, and that kind of like can loosen up where it's kind of stuck. I don't know how to explain that. Obviously not a doctor, don't criticize me on that, but it's supposed to kind of like encourage it to like go back to normal. I'm still hoping, I'm still waiting. Hopefully it doesn't take long. Honestly, it's not that big a deal, but I don't know. I felt inspired to make a video about it because it's my tragic story of the moment. Hopefully this is either a word of encouragement that you can wait and see what happens if something like this has happened to you, or you can take it as a word of advice to use extreme caution if your dermatologist suggests anything like a cortisone shot, because it can work and it can also not work. So be cautious, my friends. Anyway, if you like this video, thumbs up this video. I'm just telling my story. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe so you can keep up with all my new videos. And if you have subscribed, thank you so much. I love you. You are my people. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone. Third time, I was taking a bath and it collapsed onto me. After that, I was done with it. I was like, no, sir, you will not be violent against me. And so yeah, definitely goes on the unfavorites. I even had a dream because I so much want it to work, because it was so amazing when it did work, that I was like nailing it into the ceiling. I didn't try that.